Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Give us that 5-star review. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, wherever you do your podcasting. And also don't forget to follow us on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast. Also, you can email us at any time, BJ and Bill, the podcast at gmail.com. As we welcome you to episode 141.
Nice. Very nice. Beautiful day here in exciting Gainesville, Florida. And going to be we had 94 degrees yesterday.
Oh,
Yikes.
yeah, it's getting hot.
Yikes. But wait a minute. This is the guy who loves his hot weather here. So you got nothing.
Hey, I hope you don't pass out. I hope we don't lose any listeners. But I actually have already been awake and took a little walk, maybe, down the block and back.
Wow. Well, of course, anybody could be listening to this at any time, but I guess, yes, typically as people might know by listening, we record this at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning. So BJ is already, I usually set the alarm to wake up in time for me to make a cup of coffee, which I have done, and to get in front of the computer, which I did. And then I found out that we had a little power glitch overnight, so the computer had shut off, so I had to restart. But here right on time as always, doggone it. You can't miss the time. I mean, come on. All right. So anyway, long story short, here we are. Welcome back. Thanks for being here.
No basketball hat today, as you can tell.
He's got his old smoky moonshine. Oh, moonshine. Look at that on. Very nice. Yeah.
If your team loses in the NBA, you turn to moonshine.
Yes. So we might as well cover the obvious, the pain that both my Cleveland Cavaliers and your Warriors are out. In fact, last night was a game 7. Oklahoma City beat up on Utah. So that now the final 4 is kind of set. And for you hockey fans, Florida Panthers won their game 7 against the Toronto Blue Jays, the Toronto Maple Leafs, to move on in the Stanley Cup Finals. So there you go. All good. Now, go ahead.
I was just going to say, where is that now? How many teams are left in the Stanley Cup? Do you know by
that? I don't know. I'll bring that up. I'll bring up the NHL website here in a second. I wanted to ask if you have seen, and I don't know if this is a rumor or it's true, but I've seen it twice now on Google News and that sort of thing, about LeBron James going back to Cleveland to finish his career.
I have not heard that, but since my Warrior, I got to admit, I will admit, I wouldn't call myself a sore loser. But when my team has pretty well been exhausted, I get exhausted and move on.
You're just done with hockey completely. I hear you.
Well,
I do.
I mean, with all sports, basketball, my Warriors are done. Time to move on. I know there's 4 more teams left, but as far as I'm concerned, time to move on.
So you're not interested. You don't care. Okay.
No, I don't. I don't have.
I get it.
I hate to. You're my friend, Bill, and I hate to say this, but if I was going to root for anyone at all of the Final 4,
yes,
it would have to be the Indiana Pacers.
No, I get it. That's your history. I understand it completely. I don't have a dog in the fight anymore. And so I'll watch just out of interest. I kind of enjoy the game still and all of that, but yeah, it's kind of like, okay, now what? So here's your bracket, by the way. Here's your Final 4 in the West, starting Tuesday night as we record this on a Monday. Number 1, Oklahoma City Thunder against the number 6 Timberwolves. I don't see how the T-Wolves have any chance in that. And then what should be a great series, Pacers-Knicks, starting Wednesday night, which of course is, as we record this, comes out, it'll be tonight. So if you're hearing this on a Wednesday, Pacers-Knicks game 1 tonight. So both and I have you heard this rumor too that the referees are actually kind of letting them play a little bit more now, a little
Too
more
much.
physical. What's that?
Too much.
I disagree. I don't mind seeing a few elbows thrown around now and then, although yeah, I don't want anybody getting, bloodied or anything, which I've seen that too. But yeah, so anyway.
When you have your arms around someone and it looks like you're almost making love to them, I think that should be a foul, no matter where it is on the court and who's doing what. But I think when you've got your arms all the way wrapped around somebody,
Right?
and that's not a foul, I just sit there and scratch my head.
Well, it's definitely a foul. It definitely is. I mean, but what were they doing? Were they trying to give the foul so they could stop the play or what? Yeah, I get it. But you're totally right. You're totally right. So anyway, that's where we're at. Now, WNBA is underway.
I watched the entire game yesterday. No, that was Saturday. I'm sorry.
Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday I
Indiana
watched
Fever,
the entire game.
Chicago.
From tip-off.
Indiana looks like, wow, okay. Had a year to marinate. They look awesome.
Well, they got some new players. They did some things over the offseason to put them in a position possibly to take it all the way.
They got to be preseason favorites. Got to be. So anyway, yeah. And Caitlin Clark is the LeBron James of her. And not, I mean, obviously not big and physical like that, but I mean, just the way she sees the floor and passes the ball, and just her vision is amazing to me to watch her play the game. So yeah.
I believe you maybe have compared her to the wrong superstar.
Oh, I should have gone down. I should have gone up to San Francisco for that. No, because Steph is a pure shooter in my.
Steph knows where everyone is
True.
pretty much at all times.
I agree with that. I do.
He's a playmaker when he's not even in the play.
I agree with that. All right. Well, we'll see.
So I would say Caitlin Clark is more a Steph Curry than a LeBron James.
Okay. I'll let you slide on that. Well, I'm not going to let you slide. I'll go along with that for sure. Now, you were asking hockey. We are down to the Final Four as well there for the Stanley Cup. And so in the West, you have Dallas against Edmonton. And in the East, you have the Carolina Panthers against your Florida Panthers. So there you go.
And, they would be doing a repeat, right?
Yes.
And of course, before that, Tampa Bay went a three-peat.
Yes.
And then, the Panthers, man, I'm going to go back to and people that don't live in Florida or have ever heard of the ECHL.
Right.
BJ and Bill were doing a little radio show called the BJ and Bill Show.
Long time ago.
And someone came into our studio for an interview and was talking about how they were building an ice rink in Southwest Florida.
Yes.
That would one day home an ECHL team called the Florida Everblades.
Still one of the most clever names ever, by the way, but yes.
And Bill and I, as our guest left the studio, looked at each other and went, hockey in Florida? It will never, ever work.
Never work. Never.
They open their doors. They're not even there 1 year. And of course, we're talking about an 8,000 seat arena.
Yes.
It's not like a huge arena, but
no,
still
8,000 is about right. Yeah.
And it's sold out every freaking game. Maybe a Wednesday or Thursday night game. It won't be completely sold out, but if it's the weekend, you can't find tickets anywhere in town for the regular season. I'm not talking playoffs, the regular season. Then BJ and Bill look at each other and go, who would have thunk?
Who'd have thunk
Hockey's
it?
Big in Florida.
And it was. I mean, it was awesome. And I guess, I don't know if that's just because we have, of course, so many northern transplants. Of course, I mean, you and I, everybody's from up north of our age. I don't know. Did they remember the hockey when they were back in hometown, back in Detroit or Chicago or Cleveland? Well, Cleveland didn't have an NHL team, but yes. So I don't know that, but it was fun to watch. It sure was, and it was a great product. I mean, as you say in the sports world, right? It was a good product to watch. It wasn't like you were watching people with no talent. I mean, it was like, it was like the Fort Myers Miracle, like the baseball team. They were up and coming. There was a year when I was following the Fort Myers Miracle closely when a majority of the players on that team ended up with the Minnesota Twins, they were the farm team for Minnesota. So yeah, it was impressive. It was impressive. So anyway, there you go. Sports in Florida, it can work even if it's on ice.
This guy had season tickets for a good, 5, 6, 7 years, if not more.
Everblades? Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh. I never had season tickets, but boy, I sure did like it when our wealthy friends would invite us to join them in the loge seats in the boxes. That was nice.
Oh yeah, and all the food you could eat and drink all you could eat. No wonder I needed a heart transplant.
Comfy chairs right there, not squeezing in with the civilians. It was awesome.
Oh, those were the days, my friend.
Those were the days, my friends.
Speaking of those were the days.
Yes.
I will admit it. I don't know what has come over me.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's take a break, our first break of the day, and then get into this because this has been, I don't know if it's been bothering me or what, but we'll get into it next.
Okay, we're back and something is eating at BJ Odom and we need to find out what it is. So go ahead and share.
Some people may know, some people may not.
Yes.
As we have said before, we record this on a Monday.
Yes.
Saturday was my 70th birthday.
You want to know how much of a doofus I felt like when I saw that on my calendar and said, I need to send him something and didn't. So I apologize to you and the world, BJ Odom.
And I've been like going back and forth to the door like every 20 minutes since Saturday. Why don't you just be as bad as the people that are still on this morning, Monday, putting Facebook posts, happy birthday, where I want to go, it was freaking 2 days ago.
All right. So what you're saying is I can still send you a smiley face text message and get away with it. Okay, cool. I'll do that. So happy birthday. And the big 7-0.
A lot of people reach 40 and they go, oh, I reached 40. Oh,
yeah.
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
Nothing. I reached 50. Nothing. I hit the big 6-0.
Yeah.
All right. I'm 60.
Yeah.
I hit 65. I'm a retirement age.
There you go.
I hit 70. It was like somebody took an avalanche. Or wait, an avalanche. What are those? Wall. What are those big things that you that used to always fall on the Roadrunner?
Oh yeah. No, fell on the Coyote, though, on Wile E. Coyote. Yeah. Or did you have the other Wile E. Coyote feeling where you just kept running and running and then you looked down and there was nothing beneath your feet and you just with the little splat way at the bottom.
I have been, and I don't know why. I am an emotional person. I do wear my emotions on my sleeve.
Yes. We love you for that.
I can't even watch TV commercials in the last 2 days. I don't care what it is. I'll sit there and be, and the tears will flow down my face. I'm going, what the frick is going on?
And what do you think? TV, I don't get it. What's up with that?
I don't know what it is, but 7-0 has punched me in the gut. Speaking of Alzheimer's, our good friend does, gut punched.
Gut punch. Oh yeah, the Alzheimer's podcast.
Might as well give him a promo while we're talking about that. But no, 70 has just hit me hard.
Really?
And then I have been an emotional wreck for the last 2 days. And, I don't really understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. So talk more about that. Maybe we can help some of our friends out there, BJ Odom. Is it a matter of like your the end is staring you in the face now. I mean,
I
you're
think
only a
that's
day or
some
two
of it.
older,
Yes, that's part of it.
right?
And of course, this year I've learned some facts that I was unaware of. My mother died at 68, not 69.
Right.
And I thought she died at 69. So for many, many years, with all of my health conditions, I always said, if I could just live to be as old as my mother,
Oh,
I would say I've made it,
you made it.
Yeah,
You've surpassed the old record there. Yes.
right. So if I could just, do that. Well, and I thought it was 69, but I learned it was 2 months before she was 69
Okay. So it was
through some,
close, but we
yeah.
get it.
As
But
we're
it does.
writing this,
But right now, at the way the numbers work right now, it doesn't matter. You're way past it.
yes, I'm 70.
Yeah, I know.
Another sad fact, not to bring up sad family history, but my brother, who was a tough farm boy, although I think Agent Orange from Vietnam was a lot of his problems,
We remember Mick well, and we love him.
but he died at 70,
Ah.
just like 2 months into his 70th birthday.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm just going to say it. Holy fuck.
He said it. He came right out and said it. So you are so right now you are in uncharted. Not yet. How old was Mick? He was 70 in a couple months.
Yes.
Okay. So
He came down here in December, well, January, but his birthday was in December.
right,
Came to Florida in January. He was down here for 2 weeks. He thought he had a really bad cold.
right.
Finally, he went to the VA, went to Cape Coral Hospital. From there, he went to Tampa General, where he spent over, 2 months on a ventilator. And then they decided they were going to, because he was a vet.
Right.
They were going to, because he wanted to be closer to home. They decided they were going to move him to the vet hospital in Indianapolis.
Oh,
Go Pacers. And and he was there about not even a week and passed.
was it COVID related?
I don't know what it was, because that was really pre-COVID.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, trying to remember some years there, but I don't remember. So anyway, long story short, in a couple of months, you will raise the bar for your family when it comes to living to a relatively old age. Is that what we're saying?
Now I got to shoot for my dad.
Okay. All right,
70
good.
he
So
was
there's still
76
somebody in
or
front of
7
you. And how long was
He
Dad
was
with us?
76, 77.
Okay, cool.
So maybe that's my new record. Maybe that will give me a new lease on life, and I can get my energy and my emotions back in check.
I think a half an hour on the phone with our friend Vicky Wagner might be helpful to you. I think she might be able to sort out what you might be. I mean, I guess. Well, of course, I'm not in your shoes, so anything I could say would be a crazy ass guess. But is it just literally the fact that it's like virtually everybody that you were close to, family wise, passed right around this time in their life?
Could it be? Could be.
Yeah.
I was just well, I was pretty depressed all weekend. Let's just say that.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't get depressed.
We know. You're one of the more cheerful people I know, damn it.
Yeah. So you can see how cheerful I am. I dropped an F-bomb on this podcast earlier.
That's pretty strong. As the kids would say nowadays, that hits hard. That hits hard. That's the new thing. I'm learning new stuff as we go.
You and your pickleball players.
I know. We're
you're
just
playing all these youngsters. Grandpa's out there grunting around and they're going,
who's the old man? Absolutely. Well, I mean, we have several of our players are mid 60s, so that's fine. But yeah, we also have a lot that are like, mid 20s, early 30s. So we are a very diverse group, and that's a good thing. So we enjoy it. But anyway, back to you. I never thought of that in terms of lifespan. However, I will say that, I mean, My father passed when he was 86 and my mother 93. So I got some time left if that's my measuring stick. But yeah, that's kind of interesting that that would affect you that way.
But not only that, I mean, yeah, I look at my family's history as far as life expectancy,
Right?
but then also I look at 22 years. Well, let me see. Yeah, 22 now.
Yeah.
22 years with a heart transplant.
Yeah.
You take these god awful drugs to keep you alive that do things to your body that you would never do under normal circumstances. Like, oh, let me take this pill. I could have cancer tomorrow, or I could have a convulsions tomorrow. But gall dirty, I'm going to take them anyway.
I
But
hear you.
they're pills that keep you alive.
Well, there's the trade-off, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean,
it might kill you in a week, but it will definitely keep you alive today.
yeah.
So yeah, make your choice.
So you measure all that out, and like if you're looking at if you're looking, let's say you're a kid climbing the rope, and I have worked all season long, all life long to get to the rope and touch the ceiling.
Yes.
I'm so freaking close to that ceiling that I think that's what's scaring me.
I could never climb the rope, so I have zero relatability to that particular analogy.
Let's just say, I've seen it many times in the movies.
Yes,
but
yes, I have too.
I've never
I get
touched
it.
the ceiling
I
myself
get
either.
it. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, all right, you've made it this far. Yeah, I, I don't have any advice for you because I'm still chugging along and doing okay. I mean, of course, I still want, I still want to get better and more healthy and all of that, and and then there's the other side of it. You could step out in front of a beer truck tomorrow and it's over. I just don't choose to think that way. Uh, but I understand where you're coming from. That you have an interesting history of being told all your life, oh, don't expect to live past this, don't expect to live past this, don't, and you've kind of had these milestones and you've hopped over every one of them. So
yeah, now I got no more milestones.
you got see, it's uncharted in the crypto world or in the stock market world. When the stock chart gets above the all-time high, right? When crypto gets above its all-time high, they call that price discovery. It's like, we have no idea where it's going from here because it's never been here before. Well, maybe that's your attitude. Maybe your attitude is, I have no idea what I'm doing now. And that's kind of cool. I get to figure it out. I get to discover what's next in my life. God, Vicky Wagner is turning over in her grave somewhere. I'm doing the coaching for her. So but I like what it sounds good to me. You get to make up what you want to do. That's all
And
there is
yeah,
to it.
and the way I'm trying to like reframe my brain or my thinking
Yes,
right now is that think of the blessing
of course.
of making it past these
Of course.
mile markers or whatever you want to call them. And there's still more miles
To go.
to go. We just
Still a
don't
little
know.
still a little tread on that tire.
Yeah.
For you NASCAR fans. Still a little tread on that tire.
Oh, it was the All-Star race last night. I enjoyed that.
I know. Yeah, you sent me the picture of PJ Odom sends me the picture via text message of his TV, and it looks like a pet warehouse in front of it. It's got all the pet toys and pet beds and pet boxes and everything in front of it. So, and you only have one dog. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Or was the daughters over for the weekend?
No, she wasn't.
No.
That was another thing I think that was, I mean, I'm glad that my daughter loves me enough to call me and say, I'm sick. I've been blowing my nose. I've been coughing.
Right.
I feel like crap. I don't know what's wrong with me. I want to come see you, Dad, but I won't be able to see you today because I don't want to make you sick. So I think that was a little depressing. My son, in Fort Myers, I'm here, and
Right.
the wife's
Right.
been sick.
Right.
In fact, she kept saying all day Sunday, "Oh, it's your birthday. We should go somewhere. You need to do something." And so finally, doctors told me now, maybe 6 months ago, I should kind of hold off on the chicken wings and all that other stuff. So
Yes.
I just said, I haven't had Hooters chicken wings in a long time. Let's head to Hooters, have some chicken wings. So we did that.
Could have called DoorDash and have them brought over,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true too.
yeah.
But she kept
the
saying,
experience it is worth the experience, of
and
course.
she goes, "You need to go out. We need to go." So finally, I went out, and then I thought, Saturday night I was gonna take her to the ER. So like, oh, here I.
Really?
So maybe that was another thing that's kind of depressing too. It was a pretty dull, but I got some great gifts. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
My son took good care of me,
Of course.
but I mean, and the daughter took good care of me, and
Of
wife.
course.
But I mean, but didn't really do anything exciting. Maybe that was
Right.
some of it too. There was
Right.
a lot of down
Your old
things
partner,
going
Bill
on.
Stevens, was an absolute stiff about the whole thing. But other than that, everybody treated you well.
Well, one time I texted you. I think it was during the basketball game
Yeah.
because and I thought, oh man, this score is exciting because
Yeah.
they were down by 20.
Yeah.
So I texted you and I didn't hear anything for a long time. And I go, he said he had this new this little honey that he took out to, dinner or something a few nights ago. I said, maybe he's doing it again.
That was a thing this weekend. Yes. Yes, it was.
Oh, so I wasn't too far off then.
No, you were spot on. You were spot on. But so anyway, yes, I think, and again, God bless her. If our friend Vicky was here, she would tell you exactly what I'm about to tell you, and that is the importance of gratitude. And I know you're good on that, so I don't need to lecture you or anybody else. But being grateful for what you have and the time you've had and the family and the friends and the everything, and just for your life, especially. It's not about so much about the outside things. It's about you. And if anybody had anything to be grateful for, it would be you, my friend. So hats off to you.
And my new goal, I guess, too. I still have another probably 4 months, maybe 5 months before the book comes out.
Right.
I got to make it to the book launch.
Oh, of course.
You got to do
at
at least a signing at Barnes and Nobles.
Oh,
or something.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That would, I mean, what's her, Christine, right? Yeah, Christine. Poor Christine would have to rewrite the whole end of the book if you died before it came out. So what a pain that would be. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're just having a little moment there. That's all.
Yeah. Since I am I'm 70 now.
Yes.
And I can be cranky now because I am 70. I'm an old.
Is that the number? Is that?
Yeah, that's the number. Once you get to be 70, you can say whatever the hell you want to, and it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So no, I'm not going to do it because we just don't do it here.
Thought he was gonna go full crank on us there for a moment.
I do want to because I want to do a full political crank
Rant.
Yeah, but
anything in particular, or?
Well, you know me. I never have been a fan of the stock market anyway.
Right.
My son has been doing pretty good.
Good
with the stock market.
Good for him.
Buying low, selling when it goes up.
Of course.
Buying low, selling it when it goes up.
Of course.
One of those guys, he's why didn't I get in? He's my son. I made him. Why don't I have any of his brains?
Where did those genetics come from?
I don't know. Let me tell you, and God bless her soul, she's a sweet lady, but his mother comes from the redneckiest family you've ever met in your life. And so I don't know where he got his. I don't know where. Still think there's a postman somewhere in Indiana that should be proud as hell right now.
A super genius postman. That's funny. That's hilarious. So anyway, but I'm curious, before our break here, rant about the stock market, anything in particular, or just the fact that it's been all over the map?
Yeah, that's it. And there's only one reason why it's been all over the map.
Yes.
It's blah, 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 blah. Oh, no tariffs, no tariffs, no tariffs. It's just like a freaking yo-yo. No tariffs. We're going to raise the tariff. Oh, no, we're not going to do tariffs for another 30 days.
Right.
Oh, tariffs.
Right.
If he says tariffs one more time, I'm going to walk up and I'm going to punch him right in the face. And I'm going to say to him, I'm going to go, Mr. President, just shut the up.
your hand will be really orange when you do. But yeah, I get it. So
It's like, but I will tell you this, my son, because you know me, I'm not really a big stock market person.
right.
He goes, Dad, need to buy this. It's low right now. You need to buy it. You need to buy it.
Tell us.
Well, I'm not going to tell everybody else.
Oh, okay. Tell us on the break. What a great segue that was. Look at that. Look at the time, everybody. All right.
But it is. I'm wondering now. Should I sell this? Because it's like skyrocketed, but it's starting to go down today. So I'm thinking maybe I should just get rid of it.
Oh, so you're already in it. So you're going to tell me, and I'm not going to be able to profit from this, is what you're saying.
Well, you might be able to. It's still at a low.
Okay, cool.
I'll just say it out loud.
Let's take a break.
I'll tell you my son's tip.
Okay.
And I would never buy this in a million freaking years.
So it's something you knew. I mean, it's a name you knew.
Yes, it's a product it's a company everybody knows.
Wow.
And they are in turmoil. And of course, they are getting a new CEO and things maybe will turn around for them and things, could look brighter. But United Healthcare is at an all-time low. I mean, and it's still over $200.
United Healthcare.
But it's at a low.
My healthcare company, probably yours.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. Medicare.
If you look at its
program,
stock, it has went in the toilet compared to where it was.
Well, I mean, when you get your CEO assassinated on the street, that hurts.
Yeah.
But I mean, no joke there at all. I mean, that's when you said turmoil. For sure. So okay, all right. So there you go. There's the. So
I listened. I bought, and let me. Well, let's take a
while
break.
He's looking, let me put the legal disclaimer out there. This is not financial advice, and none should be taken from BJ and Bill's conversation. Consult your own economics and financial advisor for this kind of investment advice.
Yeah, nobody should listen to me.
Nobody should listen to us.
So you shouldn't listen to me with stock picks, or you shouldn't listen to me when it comes to sports.
That's right.
I am not your guy.
Pretty much, we have established that we have zero credibility with any of that. So, but yeah, I hear you. We're just a couple old guys ranting about old stuff. All right. When did you buy it?
About a week ago.
What did you pay?
I can't remember.
I'll look up the stock chart while we take a break. Let's take a quick break. Go refill your coffee. We will be right back. Welcome back. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. We appreciate you being with us, and we especially appreciate those 5-star reviews wherever you happen to get your podcasts. Feel free to leave the 5-star review. Your comments, your questions are always welcome. Visit our Facebook page, BJ and Bill, the podcast is where you'll find us. And again, we're everywhere. We're on YouTube Music. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast. We're everywhere. So, and if you wanted to write the show, you can always send an email to bjandbillthepodcast@gmail.com. There you go. So while we were off mic, we were checking BJ's stock pick, and I'm skeptical about his profits, but that's okay. It's not for me to say.
Well, if you buy, it's still. We looked at one week. I don't know what day he told me.
Right.
I have no concept of time. It might even have been my birthday. I don't know.
Okay.
And so I said, well, what the hell?
So you bought some. That's fine.
I bought some. And so far I'm in the green, where maybe
that's all that matters. As long as the number is green and going up.
Well, I don't know if it's going up now because it's going down today.
Oh yeah. Well,
so maybe maybe is the time to jump.
Might as well jump
and take my money.
But anyway, as we said earlier, once again, folks, remember this is not financial advice, and there is no freaking way you should be following BJ and Bill for any kind of advice. Financial, healthcare, lifestyle, forget it. We're not your guys. So there you go.
Well, what are we their guys for?
I don't know. What are we the guys for? I always tell people, somebody will say, "What's the podcast about?" I'm like, you know what? It's just two old men griping. That's all it is.
I don't. Well, maybe you're right. I'm thinking, it's not all about griping, but
No, it's not. We are enjoying. We're enjoying life. We are. And I mean, we spent the whole first half hour talking about BJ Odom figuring out his enjoyment of life, and keeping the ball rolling and all of that. And so we would encourage everybody to do that, of course. Of course.
Now, you're not really into Facebook, are you?
Not so much anymore. I mean,
They've made some major.
I still post the Shaq Fu radio blog 3 times a week, so I'm on it. I'm on the Shaq page to see it, but not so much. I'm more of a Twitter guy nowadays.
They've made some major changes.
Really?
And I don't know if it's because I've got so many people because you used to only be able to have 5,000 people.
Friends.
As friends, yeah. But I looked at my page the other day because they took that all away. How many friends you have or what now? Now you have followers. You don't have friends anymore. You have followers.
That's not different. Well, now wait a minute. So are you looking at a regular profile page or a business page?
No, I'm looking at my regular page.
Okay.
My regular BJ Odom page.
Okay, cool. Because I see, but that's how long it's been since I've been on Facebook. I couldn't tell you what. So, but you're saying now you have more than 5,000 friends? When the hell did you get 5,000 friends from anyway?
Well, I used to have like over almost 4,500. I don't know what. I was I was right under the threshold.
Yes.
I usually kept it around 20, 30 under the threshold. So you could always add new people now and again. But I'm the stupid guy that goes, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
You're becoming an influencer.
Yeah. But I looked the other day and I have no, usually you could see the box of your friends.
Right.
I don't have friends anymore.
You have followers.
But now I have followers and I have like almost 6,000 followers.
Holy cow.
I know.
All right. So
why would anybody follow
now,
this?
aren't you? If I say Facebook changed friends to followers, let's see what it says. On Facebook, you can't convert friends into followers. Facebook systems handles friend requests and follows separately. See, that's.
But I think they've changed that here in the last couple weeks.
Right. Okay, because I mean, everything I'm seeing is how to change friends to followers, but that doesn't explain why you have followers instead of friends now. I don't know that. So
yeah, open up your Facebook if you still have it.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I have it on the computer here. Stand by. If I go
and you can open it up and you can go to my page and usually you saw like a list of all my friends.
Right.
Well,
I'm going to go to my page.
I used to see that, but now on my end, I don't see that I have any friends. I have no friends anymore, but I have over 5,000 followers. I mean,
well, look at that. As soon as I open my page on Facebook, the first post I see is BJ Odom. Today is truly an amazing day. Look at you. So, all right. So I still have a friends button and I click on friends and it shows me friends. And if I go to all friends, I have 3,009 friends. I don't see followers.
Now go to my page.
Okay.
You can do that too. And you can see who my friends are.
All right. BJ ODOM. There he is. Friend, birthday 2 days ago. Yeah. Should have reminded me 2 days ago. Damn it.
That'll teach you to not be on Facebook. Teach me.
All right. So now I'm looking at your thing with that podcast playground picture there of you playing music with your son. Former blah, 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 lives in photos. No, it shows friends.
It doesn't on my page. I wonder why it doesn't.
I mean, it has and then if I click on see all friends, it goes to your friends page and there you are. And that shows mutual friends between you and me, Marty Wagner and Vicky Wagner and Maureen Knorr, God bless them all. So anyway, you got something going on there and I don't know what it is.
Maybe I'm some kind of superstar now. I don't know.
You are. You're just well, you know what it is? They said, look at that. The old man got to 70. Let's open it up for him a little bit. That's it right there. So
I don't know. None of this technical stuff. My son's got me on, these apps for stocks and
right.
I don't know. It's just too freaking complicated. I'm 70 years old, damn it. I ain't got time for this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Come on. You should be out there. I don't
doing
know.
Gummies. I need to be out there doing
more gummies. More beanbag toss, more beanbag toss, more gummies, more wine. Come on.
I'm not a wine person.
Oh, I was. I'm not much of a drinker at all anymore.
Yeah, neither am I. Now I used to indulge in the rum.
Yes, I
Rum
remember.
used to, that was my kryptonite.
Little Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
Yeah.
That was me.
But I'll
Yeah.
tell you my real kryptonite, and this takes me
Uh-oh.
back, back in the days that I was working country radio.
Yes.
And, of course, we'd have artists that would come to town and,
Yes.
maybe play either at the Hired Hand or, one of the country bars. And the record rep would always come.
Yes.
And they would sit there while the concert was going on and they would be buying you drinks the entire time. And, you'd be sitting there, drinking them. Well, Tony what was his name? Well, Tony came to town one time
Tony.
and he was a record rep.
Okay.
And he started me with Jägermeister.
Jägermeister. Oh my goodness.
That was my kryptonite. I will never, ever, ever drink that again. Let's just say I slept probably 4 hours in the car in the parking lot before I headed home.
That's pretty. I don't know that I've ever had it. It's pretty like funky tasting, isn't it?
I don't know, but it was one of those nights where everybody was having fun.
You don't even remember. I got it. What a job. What a job that must be. Record rep. You just go from town to town buying drinks for people. What a great job.
And then there was I shouldn't get into that. Well, why not? I'm old now. I'm 70.
You're old. You can say whatever you want.
I could tell stories that I would never tell before.
Go for it.
But, like you'd go to Nashville.
Right.
And, they'd want to showcase, a few of their artists. So, you would, get wined and dined for a couple of days while they show different artists to you. Say, what do you think? What do you think of this song? What do you think of this? What do you think this is a hit? Oh, yeah. Well, then I had one, and I won't name any names. Talk about payola. He would always, like he would get a group of maybe, 5 to 10 music directors throughout the country, and
Sure.
we'd go to one of these little things where we'd get to hear all the different artists.
Sure.
And then he took us to a strip club one night. I can't believe he did. And then he had like a gold card or I don't know. He had some fancy card and he was dropping it. And I mean, we were all getting lap dances and everything else. I'm going, what? I thought this was the music industry. What the hell did I just walk into? These aren't no country music stars. They're not even wearing cowboy hats.
Tell me that's in the book. Please tell me that's in the book.
No, because I don't like to talk about that. Because someday my wife might, what? You went to one of those things in Nashville and the record rep took you to a strip joint? Oh my God. I hope she doesn't listen to this.
Well, we've kind of spilled the beans now. So maybe you want to change your mind about that.
I just remember. Yeah. So I remember some of those wild nights being in country radio. Lone Star, one of my favorite groups. I went to their concert. I was on their bus before the show. We were all having a good time, drinking shots, having a good time. I hope the concert was good because the concert was over. They were back on the bus and I was like, what happened? Where'd you guys go? We played the show. You missed it, BJ. Holy shit. How'd that happen?
It was a great show. Too bad you weren't there. Wow. See, I continue to learn new things, ladies and gentlemen. We all continue to learn new things about BJ Odom's history. Although I think I heard the Lone Star story before, but not the strip club story before.
I think when you get to be 70, you just blurt them all out. What the hell?
Yeah, I think it's an inverse. It's like one of those graphs. It's an inverse proportion. Older you get, the less you care. It's just math. I think that's the way it works.
I don't care.
You don't care. No. It's like, I've been around. Come on. Well, good for you.
Can you tell me you passed out on an artist bus? Can you tell me you went to a strip joint with a record rep?
Exactly. So anyway, good for you. Good for you. Boy, oh boy. See, look at all of this fun stuff you still have in your life.
No, those are things I did do that probably, maybe when I think about it, now that I've mentioned some of these wild stories that I really don't talk about, maybe these are the ones that have kept me alive.
I wouldn't doubt that. I would not. I wouldn't doubt that at all. That these are the story. That the fun stuff. Well, again, as you and I have said 100 times, laughter is the best medicine, and that's we're
Well, I
laughing.
don't know if I
So
was
it's all
laughing a
good.
whole lot if I was passed out. How are you going to laugh when you're
Well,
passed
that
out?
that not so much. But here we are, 40 years later, laughing about it. So it's
Yeah,
all
we're
good.
enjoying the medicine now.
That's it.
Maybe
That's
we
it.
didn't enjoy it as much when the medicine was happening as we do now.
Funny, funny. Wow. See,
Maybe
there
we
you
need
go.
some good Bill stories. You never had a wild streak, though, did you?
Not much. Not really. Not much. No. I mean, no. I was the see. You were the younger son of the older brother. I'm betting, and I knew Mick a little bit, and I know that he was the responsible one, and he was the example. He was the mentor. I'm not saying I was a mentor, but I was the older, responsible one, so that when my brother, I mean, literally, this is a Bill story. Literally, when I lived in Phoenix before BJ and Bill days, I was on the radio in Phoenix, Arizona, and my brother was there. In fact, the reason I was in Phoenix is because my brother got married there, and we went there for the wedding, and I went, oh, this is nice. Send some resumes, got a job. Um, but my brother had, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, a problem with alcohol. He did, and on more than one occasion, I got a phone call from his panicked wife at the time saying, "Can I borrow a couple of $100 to bail your brother out of jail?" And so I would have to go downtown and bail my brother out of jail. So the stories were not for me so much. I was the
So you
responsible one,
saw,
right?
you saw the bad side. So you basically said, "This isn't for me."
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm not afraid so. Probably so. Probably so. I mean, yes. So, and of course, I mean, it's not like being on the radio is some high profile, gotta be an angel kind of a job. We know that it's not.
Because
But,
I was no angel.
right. But at the same time, you're not going to do something so reckless or so stupid or whatever that it's going to make you and your radio station look bad, because that's a career ender. That's, that's like, kind of the judgment is a little lacking there. So, yeah, I was always very mindful of that sort of a thing. So, did it make me a little more boring? Probably, but I'm okay with that.
Well, I will say this, and I think I've told you this story before.
Mm.
One blessing, from having poor health, although the guy just talked about passing out from drinking and everything else. What do you mean? He's worried about his health. But one thing I stayed away from, because when I was like a teenager,
Yes.
especially I was in rock and roll bands
Yes.
with people with long hair,
You had it too.
and we played,
Yeah, yeah. Rock and roll.
all
Yeah,
that
we know.
rock and roll, the rock and roll lifestyle.
The whole lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of, let's just say, chemicals. Let's just say, yeah, let's just for purposes, there was a lot of chemicals around.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're talking lots of chemicals.
Mood altering chemicals?
Yes, but I was
Yes.
always one of those people, because back in the 70s, when all this crazy stuff was going on around me, I knew a lot of it was laced or kind of put together
Right.
with speed.
Right.
And I was smart enough to know that if I took speed, probably with the heart that I had, I mean, I would even envision this in my mind. It would just explode.
You would your
It
heart
would
would
just
just explode,
it
and
would, yeah, it would just explode. And
there you'd
that's all
be.
she wrote.
There you would be somewhere on stage lying out like a yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
get it.
So I had those around me. I won't say who they were, but there were those around me that indulged quite heavily. And I know me and my wild side. And if I did not fear of my heart blowing up because, being laced with speed,
Right.
I know now, I mean, I know that I would have been right there with them, trying these different chemicals, doing these crazy, weird things, seeing these weird, crazy things that I've seen them see.
Right.
But, it was always my stop.
Right.
Like, no.
This is the door you don't walk through.
This is the door that, this looks fun. And this looks like this has got me written all over it. But it also has Night Night BJ written all over it too. So I will say that was, if there's one savior from being unhealthy, having a bad heart all my life,
Right.
that is the answer.
So listen to what you just said, Mr. Grateful, how the fact that you had this health condition, something that you have felt is a limitation in your life, may have been the thing that has kept you alive all these years.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Because you were smart enough. Smart might not be the right
Which
word.
really kind of scares me.
You were aware enough. That's
Okay,
the word.
better, yeah.
You had the self-awareness to say, okay, this is not good for me for whatever reason. And other of your friends may have made different choices and may have suffered different consequences. I'm trying to be as generic as possible here. But there we go. I mean, again, the thing that may have, the thing that they said would kill you may have kept you alive.
Yeah.
To the point where here you are today at 70 plus years old, alive and kicking.
And I always said too, if I had, because, like for a while, I actually worked at a Christian country station.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I even, like when I was young, I even thought of things I could do, because I did have limitations. What could I do, that, maybe, will work with my, bad heart instead of, because I couldn't, I'm not going to be working outside all day.
Yeah, you're not going to be a farmhand, that's for sure in Indiana.
So I go, oh, I could be a pastor. I could learn. I could be a preacher because again, showbiz. Really, I mean, it's not showbiz, but it is.
Oh yeah, it's showbiz.
And I'm thinking, I could do this. I could be good at this. And so I toyed around with the idea.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
that's super. There's another thing I'm not sure I've ever heard before from BJ Odom.
But
wow, we are digging deep today, folks. Digging deep.
But if I would have went that route, or even I thought a couple times because I played music, I thought maybe I should play in a Christian band, But I think my testimony would be, back in the 70s when I was young and wild and crazy, the good Lord maybe blessed me with a bad heart to keep me away from things that might have been worse. That would have been if I was out doing testimonies, that would be my testimony.
That's yours.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. And it fits in exactly with what we've been saying about how that's actually, people say that. You see those stories, and I'm sure you've heard 100 of them on your other podcast, on the Gift of Life podcast, that people will say, I had cancer, I had an accident, I had a near-death experience, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I wouldn't want anybody to have to go through that. And yet, it taught me some things that changed my life.
Yep.
And so I think I know that's where you're at with that. I mean, you're at the same kind of a place. I mean, yeah, you didn't have, you did have a couple of near-death experiences, but yeah, at least you were on the operating room table at the time.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. Now I forgot what I was going to say. So that's another thing that happens when you're 70.
Memory. I have noticed that. I have past couple of days talking with friends and stuff. I'm like, I'd throw a couple of things out and it's like, that's gone. Where the hell did that name go or that play or what? And then maybe if I'm lucky, 5 minutes later it comes to me, but not always. Need to work on that. Is there like a memory drug we can take or something like that? I don't know.
Well, I have short-term memory, like you'll be trying to get on some app of yours, like a bank app or something like that. And it'll send you a code.
Right.
and it's usually like a 6-digit code.
Right.
I can remember the first three, and then I got to go back and look at the last three again before I put the last three in. I can't put all six. I can't go then go
Right.
to the app again. Oh shit! What was those last three numbers again? It won't.
Your
I don't
iPhone
know.
should do that for you. Your iPhone should fill in the code.
Yeah, I
I'll
wish
have
it
to-
would.
maybe
Sometimes,
that's a video I have to do. Who knows?
yeah, because sometimes it will and sometimes it won't, depending on the app.
Right.
Some
That's
apps,
true. That's true.
some apps won't let you do that. Maybe that's why.
There you go. So there are some games out there that you can, like me right now. I'm on this kick where I'm stuck on this hearts game, card game on my iPad, and like I'll be watching the basketball game at night, but I'm playing hearts sitting there on the iPad, and I'm like, I could probably be using this time for something better.
My
So
wife now, speaking of apps, she's working on, and of course, she used to be in the school system. So
Yep.
she should have done this a long time ago
right.
because she's retired now, but she is learning Spanish.
Oh, very cool. How's that going? Is she using any particular app?
Probably
But you don't know.
is, but
Yeah. There's a couple. There's like Duolingo, and I've tried that, and for some reason I don't have the patience for. It's not patience. It's just, well, never mind. I don't know what it is. I
of course,
just didn't stick with it.
she may have an alternative motive too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she still wants a part-time job
Oh, okay.
at Disney.
So
she's
that would
probably
be
thinking
cool.
that would be
I was
very,
thinking, and here I was thinking Hispanic boyfriend. So what do I know?
that could be too. No, she is, and I, because this is this should be another conversation, another podcast. But I have told her before, you know my health. You should be thinking of options. You should be thinking about these things. I am perfectly good with you when I'm. Feel free to go out, mingle, mix. Make yourself happy. And
Good for
she
you.
goes, "I'll tell you." I'll never get married. She gave me the whole,
Right.
she goes, I'll never get married again. I'm not going to have sex again.
Right.
I guess she's going to become just a vegetable when I die. I don't know. But to hear
Well,
her
that
talk
doesn't
about
sound
it,
like fun.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. What's wrong with you? Sending you back. Something you broke.
But I do
broke
like the part-time Disney thing. I think that's cool. Is that a possibility? Do they have part-time kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. And usually
what
a lot of those part-time Disney jobs, you get like all the benefits, like free parks,
Nice.
30% discounts.
Nice. So what? She could like work at a gift shop or something like that. Nothing where she's like herding people around or whatever.
No. She just doesn't. She wants to work like maybe at one of the resorts or something.
Cool.
They have greeters. She wants to be like a greeter.
Really?
She doesn't want to work in one of the stores.
Yeah. That
She's not
sounds a
good
little
with-
hectic.
She's not good with change either.
Change you mean like nickels, dimes, and quarters, or you're talking in life?
She goes, I can't make change. I go, the machine tells you like you need 85 cents. So what's 85 cents? Okay, you got two quarters. That's 50. I go, how hard? I'm not good with math. I'm not good with change.
Wait, back up. Throw it in reverse. Who the hell uses cash anymore?
That's true too.
When was the last time you spent cash for any? I had one computer a couple 3 weeks ago. I had one computer client actually peeled off $150, a $100 bill, $150 bill, and gave it to me. And I'm like, what the hell do I do with this? So anyway, I think I still got it. So, but long story short, nobody uses cash. She doesn't. She would be making change maybe once a day working at a gift shop. So anyway.
Yeah, I should say, you know what? Go to one of those gift shops. Just stand there for an hour.
Right.
Watch people go through.
Right.
And check out and see how many people actually give them cash. I don't know. Some of the foreign people may use foreign currency and change
Well,
it.
you can't use foreign currency, but they would have to. But
change
maybe
it
they
over,
did
yeah.
come to. Maybe they traded it in at the hotel for. Traded in their euros for real live American dollars or something like that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But still, there's 1,000 other jobs she could be doing. I think that's a great idea, and yeah, cool, very cool.
Yeah, those people using cash all the time. Those are the people's products that I didn't use when I was in the 70s.
Yes, because you weren't paying for mood altering chemistry with the
Yeah,
credit
yeah,
card.
yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
No, you just didn't do that. No, I hear you.
That might kill me. I am staying away from that.
Unbelievable. BJ
Ah,
Odom, the hour has flown by. Flown by.
and every day when we do this, I go, okay, here we are, episode 141. What the hell are we going to talk about today?
And I'm sure it's the same with your Gift of Life podcast.
Well, that one's easy because I say, tell us a little bit about yourself. That's my first question. Then I go, tell us about your journey. How did it begin? Where did it all begin? Let's start from the beginning.
There you go.
And a lot of times I can sit back there and
Yeah.
just,
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Long, long time ago, there was an infomercial with a guy named Matthew Lesko. And he wore a jacket with question marks all over it. And he produced a giant book, like a phone book, physical printed book. Of course, this was way before the days of computers, about all the government programs you could qualify for to get free money. And he was he was like the Billy whatchamacallit of infomercials before Billy was a thing, before all of those guys were a thing. And I remember interviewing him. He came in live to my radio station in Phoenix, and I literally sat down across the microphone. How's it going? What's new? And an hour later, I said, look at the time to go.
You'll love those interviews.
I love those interviews. So simple. Anyway.
I always like the ones that go, okay, so you're having a big fundraiser coming up this weekend. Yes. Yeah, you're trying to raise money for what organization? The Red Cross.
Right?
Could you tell me more about the Red Cross?
Well, they're a big group and they help people.
Yeah, it's like, you
Yes,
and I both.
Those are the ones that
people.
You're like, I feel my hair turning gray as we are talking. Yes.
But I will tell you, because I do ask for people to share their transplant stories.
Right.
And many of transplant people go around to different organizations and tell their stories. So it's something they're used to.
Yes.
So a lot of times I swear the ones that, want to do this, they're prepared usually.
Sure.
And so I can usually just, I could go get a sandwich, make it, and, come back. But, I interact questions or
Sure.
relate to their things. And but yeah, it's been pretty simple. I haven't found too many that I got to go, oh my God. There's been some I'm going, how can I shut this person up? But, I mean, yeah, they're great storytellers.
Good. Well, yes. And they should be. Well, should be, wrong word, but having a good story is, well, we know that. I mean, we know that from our radio days. We know that from this podcast. Story is everything. Story is the only thing.
Buy the book.
What's that?
Buy the book.
Buy the book.
I got to get, you know what? I want to talk to Christine and say, we need a title now. Because I want to start getting it in people's minds so they can go to Amazon like every month and go, okay, is this title, is it there yet? Is it there yet?
Well, you can, I think it's like a couple of weeks before the book actually comes out. You can pre-order it. You can have that out there. So yeah, you do need to start thinking title. And I'm sure that's something she's working on. I know it is. So anyway, yeah. You got any idea? Well, we passed our time. I was going to say, you got any
parts
idea?
Or parts?
What?
Parts or parts?
Parts is parts.
I would, that would be a bad title for the book, but the first, when I was doing comedy,
right?
Because I have the heart and I have the kidney.
Yep.
The first line out of the chute is, hey, my name's BJ Odom. I had a heart transplant 10 years ago, whatever year it was. I had a kidney transplant 5 years ago. I got more parts than a chicken McNugget. That was always my opener. So I want maybe thinking, I got more parts than a chicken McNugget. But I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But yeah, always got to laugh. Always got to laugh at the comedy club, though.
Yeah, but getting a laugh at a comedy club and having a book title is a little different. Maybe not much, but a little. All right, anyway, that's fine. Boy, again, the hour's flown by. Awesome. Happy late belated birthday, BJ Odom. You're fine. you're stuck with us for a few more years at least. So don't worry about it.
Well, we always do our show on Zoom together.
Yes.
And the last month, every time I open it, it goes, do you want to use the Zoom AI? I don't know what it is, but maybe that's that. If I kick, you just go, yeah, I want to use the Zoom AI. You become BJ, okay?
There you go. We'll just program the AI to think like you. Oh
my God.
And then we go from there. That sounds like end of the world stuff to me. All right, everybody. Have a great week. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you wherever you are. We appreciate you for being here. And we will see you again next week. And until then, just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.
Flip the dial, take a ride back in time when the airways were golden and the DJs shine. 2 mics, 2 guys, and a whole lot of laughs. Living like legends, bringing stories back. No script, no rules, just telling